Your dog is staring at you again, unblinking, and it does not feel like an accident. If you have ever been told that means dominance, or guilt, or plain stubbornness, none of that is true, and believing it may already be working against your relationship with your dog. In the next few minutes, you're going to learn exactly what that stare is really communicating, and exactly what to do the next time it happens. Here is the mistake almost every dog owner makes, and it costs them real trust with their own dog. They assume the stare is about attention or guilt or stubbornness. Some owners have been told a hard stare means dominance. Others think it is affection, plain and simple. And a few worried owners even start to wonder if something is physically wrong. None of those explanations get to what is really going on. And once you understand what actually is, you will read every stare completely differently. Here is why you have probably struggled with this before. It is not your fault. Traditional dog training was never built to explain this kind of behavior. It hands you a toolkit of commands, treats, and corrections. And when those tools do not change the staring, the advice usually shifts to blame. You are told your dog is testing you. You are told to assert dominance, to look away first, to establish who is boss. Maybe you tried it. Maybe it even seemed to work for a day or two. But the staring came back because you were never treating the root cause of dog behavior in the first place. You were managing a symptom with a system that was never designed to look underneath it. Here is the shift that changes everything. Your dog isn't misbehaving when he stares at you, and he isn't testing your authority either. He is reading you. Dogs evolved alongside humans for roughly 15,000 years, and across that long, strange, beautiful partnership, they became remarkably skilled at one very specific job: watching the human face for information. Not your words, your face. Canine psychology research has shown, again and again, that dogs process human facial expressions with a level of sophistication that used to surprise even the scientists studying them. Some of that research points to something called a left gaze bias, where dogs instinctively scan the left side of a human face first, the side that tends to carry the strongest emotional signal. Isn't that something? Your dog was never randomly staring. He was scanning. This also explains why your dog might stare even harder instead of settling down, no matter how many times you repeat a command. You call it stubbornness. You might even call it disobedience. But think about what is actually happening underneath. Your dog is watching your face, catching the tension in your jaw or the tightness around your eyes. And his own nervous system starts to mirror it right back at you. He tenses because you are tense. You get more frustrated because he will not calm down. And now you are both stuck in what we call a frustration loop. Two nervous systems feeding each other's stress, with neither one able to break the cycle first. So if it is not dominance, and it is not guilt, then what is actually driving that stubborn stare? It is biology, doing exactly what it evolved to do. There is a name for the deeper mechanism behind this, and once you understand it, you will never look at your dog stare the same way again. It is called the emotional sync method, and it starts with a simple biological fact. Eye contact between a dog and their owner is not neutral. A study published in the journal Science, led by researcher Miho Nagasawa, found that when dogs and their owners looked into each other's eyes, both species showed a rise in oxytocin, the same hormone responsible for bonding between a parent and an infant. The longer the gaze, the higher the oxytocin spike. Your dog's stare is not defiance. It is an attempt at connection, wired into his biology by thousands of years of living beside you. But here is the part that surprises most owners. That same gaze can carry a completely different message depending on your own emotional state. Because your dog is not just looking at your eyes, he is scanning your whole face for tension, for stress, for the subtle signals researchers sometimes call emotional noise. The tiny, involuntary signs of stress or frustration that most humans do not even realize they are broadcasting. Think about it for a second. Have you ever noticed your dog staring harder, almost worried, right before you leave the house? Or right when you are stressed about something completely unrelated to him? That is not a coincidence. What was he catching in your face before you even said a word? This is the real engine behind the emotional sync method. The idea that your dog's nervous system is in constant, quiet conversation with yours. When you are calm and regulated, that stare becomes a bridge, a moment of biological connection that deepens trust. When you are anxious, rushed, or emotionally noisy, that same stare can tip into something else entirely, a kind of hypervigilance, where your dog is bracing for whatever comes next. And once you see it this way, a few other confusing behaviors start making sense too, don't they? Take the tail. Most owners assume any wag means happiness. But here is something that will change how you watch your dog forever. Researchers studying tail wagging asymmetry found that dogs tend to wag with a slight bias to the right when they feel calm and positive, and with a bias to the left when they feel unsettled or on alert. So the next time your dog seems to be staring at you while his tail does something a little off, pay attention. That left-leaning wag paired with a fixed stare usually means one thing. His nervous system is asking yours for reassurance, not affection. What is he actually asking you for in that moment? If you have ever caught yourself misreading that wag, or felt your dog tense up in a moment when you needed him calm, hit like on this video right now. It helps this channel reach more owners who are being blamed by traditional training instead of actually being helped. And if you have not subscribed yet, this is a good moment to do it. Here is how you put the emotional sync method to work today. The tool is simple. We call it the 10-second sync reset. And it takes exactly what it sounds like. 10 seconds. Before you engage with your dog in any charged moment, before you leave the house, before you come home, before a stressful stare down turns into a spiral for both of you, you pause. You take a slow breath in for 4 counts, hold for 2, release for 4. You let your own shoulders drop. You let your own face soften. Only then do you make eye contact. This is not about ignoring your dog. It is about nervous system regulation, calming your own arousal first, so the gaze you are offering communicates ease instead of tension. Compare the 2 versions of the same morning. In the first version, you are running late, your movements are sharp, your breathing is shallow, and you glance at your dog for half a second before rushing out the door. His stare locks onto you immediately. His body goes stiff, and he starts pacing the second the door clicks shut. In the second version, you pause for 10 seconds first. Your shoulders drop, your breathing slows. You glance at your dog calmly, almost casually, before you leave. His stare softens. His body stays loose. He settles near the window instead of the door. Same dog, same morning. Completely different biology because you changed first. This single shift changes everything, especially around separation anxiety, one of the most misunderstood struggles a dog owner faces. Most owners make what we call the goodbye mistake. They feel guilty about leaving, so they linger. They hug their dog for a long, emotional goodbye, hoping to soften the moment. But biologically, that lingering, emotionally loaded exit does the opposite of what you intend. Your dog does not need drama at the door. He needs predictability, and he needs your scent to stay calm and familiar. Because that is what actually helps lower his cortisol, the stress hormone tied to separation anxiety. A quiet, low-key departure, paired with the 10-second sync reset, tells his nervous system that nothing dangerous is happening. No goodbye ritual required. Just calm, repeated, unremarkable predictability, which, biologically speaking, is exactly what safety looks like to a dog. Could something this small really be the difference? For his nervous system, it is. Now here is something worth sitting with. Your dog isn't misbehaving when he refuses to settle after you have had a stressful day. He isn't misbehaving when he paces near the door before you have even picked up your keys. In both cases, he is mirroring something you have not fully processed yourself. That is the heart of emotional attunement. The ability to notice what your dog is reflecting back at you, and to gently, consistently, offer him something calmer to reflect instead. Here is the part worth knowing. The 10-second sync reset you just learned only covers one piece of the cycle, the regulation piece. There is still awareness, signal, reinforcement, and trust. 4 more elements that decide whether your dog settles for a minute or settles for good. I put the complete emotional sync method framework into a guide called The Dog Who Understands You. And if you want to see how every piece connects, go visit our community tab. There is also a free checklist waiting for you there. 10 things to check before any interaction with your dog. No email required, just an instant download. And when you are done here, stick around. There is another video waiting for you right after this one, and it covers something that will help you understand your own dog even more deeply than this one did. See you there.